Right.
The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our series.
The book is Dave Sherapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sherapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Roll Call Friday episode of the Bostonian versus the book. Big guest, top of the show. Don't move. Kenny Mayne will be here just in a couple of minutes to chat about everything happening on Monday night, his performance here in Vegas that you could go to. Tickets to be given away momentarily. He is Dave Sherapan. I'm Matt Perrault. We are live on our YouTube channel and Twitter X at Boston versus the book. The same on Sports Grid TV, replayed, and on Sirius Satellite Radio, channel 159. That was wrong, but you know what I mean. We're on Sirius and say it's Sports Grid every night. How are you, Dave? Green is the color of the day, I guess, huh?
Green is the color of the day. Yeah. Favorite thing about today, we'll get to that at the end of the show, like we do every day, whether it's in regular time, which is on the replay.
It's funny. You have a softball female version. I have a baseball female version.
Really?
We're both on the same page today. Green, looking at excited about accomplishments by young women.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I love it. We have Kenny Mayne today. Last time Kenny Mayne was on the show, Neil Everett popped in as well. It was nothing but laughs. It was nothing but fun. It was really a tour of Kenny's house. Kenny's in Vegas this time, so that's going to be a little bit different.
Not yet.
I thought he was here.
Not yet. I don't think so. I think he's here yet.
Okay.
He might be, but I don't think so. I think he's still. I don't think he's come here because he's come here because Monday's the event.
Right. Okay.
So I don't think he's here yet.
All right. Well, he'll be at the Kimmel's Comedy Club on Monday, and hopefully we will be too, and somebody else will be if you watch the show and able to get the tickets. Right. We can have.
Yeah. So here's how we're gonna do it, guys. If you'd like to see Kenny Mayne live in Vegas, Monday. Now, first and foremost, you got to be able to go. All right. So if you can go and you want to go, we're giving away a pair of tickets for free to go see Kenny Mayne. Here's how you can do it. You must be subscribed to the BVB YouTube page. Okay. Got to be one. Got to go on YouTube. Got to prove to us that you are a subscriber. So go and subscribe. Hit a screenshot that you are subscribed to us. Then tag me in the Discord channel and send me the photo evidence that you are subscribed to the BVB YouTube channel. To get to our Discord, go to thebvbshow.com. This is all free. Okay. It's very easy. One lucky winner will grab it tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. I know for some of you guys on the East Coast, it might be hard if you're going to hop a plane, but maybe you're a drive in Southern California or Nevada, or you may live here in Vegas for that matter.
Yep.
Simple. Subscribe to the BVB YouTube. Tag me on our Discord channel at Sports Talk Matt, thebvbshow.com to join it, and we'll pull the winner coming up tomorrow. We'll make the announcement on the Discord channel, and on Monday, we'll say who's going to go see Kenny Mayne. Coming up
I
on
like
Monday.
it. I like it. Yeah, that'll be good. When's the last time you were at a comedy show?
Ooh, live comedy show?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Great.
think.
So back in my day, Todd and Tyler was the morning show in Omaha, Nebraska. Todd and Tyler is the show that got Larry the Cable Guy his start. Larry used to call in to Todd and Tyler and do pranks, and Todd and Tyler aren't stand-up comics, but they have those chops. They're very good. Kind of a local version of Howard in a lot of ways, but they are they have amazing guests. So literally every week they would be, it was called what was the club in Omaha that they used to always have, but the comedians would always come through. So I was going to like one comedy club a week, like one show a week. I got very good at going to comedy clubs.
Okay.
Different shows for many, many years.
In Omaha. But since I left Omaha in 2009, I think I've been to one or two, maybe since. Okay.
Really not that often have I gone to it, but I think comedy clubs are a vibe. They're a very cool place.
Oh, without a doubt. I've been to a bunch of them here. So the Trop had, I think it was called the Laugh Factory at the Trop.
Yeah, I think it still is. Oh, it's gone.
Well,
yeah,
it's gone.
Trop's gone.
The
So,
Trop is gone.
It was called Laugh Factory.
It ain't there.
They moved the Laugh Factory somewhere in Vegas.
I don't know.
I think it's still here.
So, but one of the best ones I ever saw was I took Jess in 2003 to see Robin Williams at the MGM.
Oh, wow. I never saw him. I would have loved to have seen him.
Yeah. I had a guy who got us tickets and we sat like, I don't know, 4 rows from the stage.
Nice.
And it was great. It was one of the funniest, like you laughing the other day when I was talking about the glory holes. It was like that, just laughing. And I feel like we missed half the show because we were laughing.
Right.
It was just amazing. But saw some great comedians both at the Trop and at MGM, where Kenny's going to be.
Yeah.
Went to shows there downstairs.
He's on the Link Promenade is where Kimmel's.
This is where Kimmel's is, right? So Brad Garrett has one.
Yes, Brad Garrett's at MGM.
That's at MGM, and then there's one other one that I know we went to, where it was a little bit shady. Actually, the comedians were going back and forth.
Wow. That's it. Oh, there we go. 7 dirty words. Now we're talking. It's tremendous. Absolutely great. I've debated like playing Carlin's 7 dirty words bit to my class at UNLV, but like it doesn't apply anymore. Like you can say swear words like on ESPN now. So like it doesn't.
Yeah, but I think it's good. It's a good thing to show them. I think it would be a good thing to show them, just to say this is the way it was.
Yeah, how it used to be. It
wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have that sometimes, but now how there's no really filters. I mean, thank goodness we have Will.
Right. But like McAfee does stand up, but he does stand up. He does stand up the same way. He still does it. I saw a video this morning of him doing stand up like last year. He still hops on stage once in a while, but it's similar to what Kenny does. Like I don't know. I'm curious to hear how Kenny describes what he does, because it's an act, but it's not like your traditional. It's him telling stories about his life.
Right.
It's all walking down memory lane and pointing out how idiotic life is and how crazy things could wind up being in your life. And so, and Pat, I saw Pat tell a really funny story from last year about him and Peyton Manning playing roulette, and Peyton Manning talking about putting a number on red 18, and he walked away and it hit as it walked away. Like what? Yeah. And he came up and was like, "Do you know what hit?" He was like, "Yeah, I know what hit." Like this Manning knowing that he could pull numbers out of his butt.
I still watch a lot of old comedians and stand-ups, like, because I mean, growing up, Carlin, Richard Pryor, Eddie
Kings
Murphy.
of Comedy was tremendous.
Oh, then the Kings of Comedy. Still watch Bernie Mac. Anytime I can watch a clip of Bernie Mac or it pops up in my feed, I just watch it and usually try to retweet it, because he was my favorite. Like, I don't know what it was, but he spoke to you and he said things that nobody else would say. That was his thing. And man, he was great. Jamie Foxx, another one, Ian Lights Out, said he used to have him crying. I don't know. That's good. That'll be
There's
good.
some guys on. I was watching the other night. I watch it on Netflix. If I watch comedy, I watch Netflix more than often. But like, I often feel like a lot of the stuff now, they try to segment the population so much as like who they're targeting, and
Yeah.
like there's certain guys who get like big Netflix specials who I've never heard of.
Right.
Like who, like you hear Chris Rock, like you know who Chris Rock was, or Kevin Hart, you know who Kevin Hart was, right? I feel like on Netflix there's a lot of guys on there. I'm like, number one on Netflix for like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm like, who is this? Like, I don't know who this comedian is, but they have a huge following. And I saw some guy who did a thing in Phoenix. He was like number one on Netflix for like 2 weeks. I was like, okay, who is this person? And I watched it. He was funny, but people really do like watching comedy specials. It's like a good window, right? It's like a 1 hour time kill to watch.
I watched the last Jamie Foxx one, since the stroke. It was started out, it was like it was going to be a comedy special, but it was a life special. And it was,
you told me to watch that. I haven't watched that yet.
Oh, it had me in tears, crying in a good way. Like, I mean, it'll move you to a point, especially now with everything going on.
Yeah.
You get 100%, you'll get a good cry out of it. Both, a little bit of laughing, but a lot of like, whoa, okay. Things are really, really
have you seen Dave Chappelle yet in person?
No.
I would highly recommend it.
Yeah. I have
Chappelle is like, Dave Chappelle's tremendous. He's just tremendous. Like, it's just everything, the way he just conducts himself, his aura when he's up there, he's so comfortable. Like, you can learn so much as a broadcaster. I think you can learn so much
without a doubt
from comedians.
Yeah.
Because the way they position things, the way that they, like, Matt Rife is now the guy, I would say, in terms of like the hottest comedian on the planet. Matt Rife would be that guy. And so most of it's from social media, but his crowd work that he does is unbelievable. He's just so comfortable and confident talking, and the one-liners, the zingers that he throws back at the audience, just gets people on edge and gets people ready to go. Like, what are they going to say next? Right. And that I think as a broadcaster, to have that confidence and to have the ability to set up somebody and have conversations or interviews or whatnot is truly an art form. It's really, it's really pretty cool. All right. You want to talk to the man himself?
Is he at his house? Where the first question I'm going to ask him was, where is Kenny Mayne?
Stop talking about Kenny Mayne, talking with Kenny Mayne, joining us here back on BVB. Kenny, Matt, and Dave, how are you? Great to see you again. How are you?
Well, just to be mentioned in the same breath with Chappelle and Seinfeld and Chris Rock is an honor. Thank you for that introduction and the pantheon of great comics. I grew up with great ones. We had George Carlin, who was like a prophet, basically, and all the stuff he said, play it back, right? Richard
True. Yeah.
And then the TV, love Johnny Carson and Bob Newhart. And I'm old. I like the old. I'm leaving out a million, but Get Smart, Bugs Bunny, Flintstones, Jetsons. I think those are the foundational things.
Did we take it for granted back then, Kenny? Like, I mean, we had no idea really what we were watching. It was the only thing. There was no internet. There was no phones. There was no anything. But it had our attention. And now when I see the old stuff, it's so good. It's it's up in a lot of ways.
It's funny because, like you said, you had 3 regular channels. You had the PBS. You had the weird. Ours was Channel 13. It came in and out. There might have been some UHF that no one knew how to watch. Like what? There weren't many choices. There was local radio. You got a newspaper, and one phone. But the funny thing is, I was pretty satisfied. I felt like I had all the entertainment I needed and had all the information I needed. And now it's a lot of white noise, but there's a lot of great stuff out there as well.
Kenny, the difference between being on stage and being in front of a camera, how do you handle the differences? What's the preparation like? It's obviously a different environment that you're talking. How is it different for you to be on stage versus being in front of a camera?
Well, I'll find out at 7:30 on Monday. I mean, I've done it's funny the different reactions to this, like family and friends. And my daughters and my wife are like, it's gonna be great. They've seen me do stuff. I've done the upfronts, in New York, and I've done banquets and I've done award shows, but it was never this, right? This is different. There wasn't the same expectation. But I don't know. I'm just telling stories about my childhood. and I know them pretty well because it's me. It's not like I have to memorize the punchline to the joke about the man at the gas station. I just got to talk about how I wanted to run off to Mexico with Mrs. Loomis in 3rd grade. And she'd have to drive because I'm only 8 at the time. But, and it was a 2-way street. There was something going on, but we broke it off. We stayed friends. So the year I broke my femur.
Paint a picture of Mrs. Loomis for us right now. Like, are we talking blonde, 6 foot, brunette? What did she look like?
Young Jessica Lange.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay.
This is the dawn of my sexuality. Okay. I'm
3rd grade.
3rd grade. And
Yeah.
up until then, we just had like bra ads in the newspaper.
Of course.
Not a lot to go on. But when I broke my femur, I'm giving away the whole act. I broke my femur at age 11. And the story afterward, even though a femur break is not funny, it gets pretty funny. It's so dumb what happens next. Like, did they not consider calling an ambulance? Anybody? Nobody thought to do that.
No. In the 80s? No.
Where were you? You don't have to give away the whole act, but where were you at 11 when you broke your femur?
Kent, Washington, south of Seattle. I broke it technically in Auburn because a mile away it became Auburn.
Like a pickup football game? What the hell were
No,
you
this
doing?
is boys club football, lightweight division, 1971.
Oh my
And
God.
I tried to tackle a guy who weighed like 40 more than me, and it didn't go well. It didn't work out. And the funny thing is, that's my first break. I later would break my left ankle, then later would break my right one at UNLV.
I was just going to ask you, the UNLV break was the other leg?
UNLV is the right ankle, my 3rd break, and the worst one, really. The femur was nothing. I played basketball 2 weeks later. Yeah.
What?
Did you know it was
when you're
broken?
young, you pick it up quick. You just come right back and grind. I need to get out there on the boys club basketball circuit. But they left me in the back of a truck with a broken femur while they tried to find my parents. And I was did we not sign a waiver? Like this guy has medical authority to take me somewhere and get some treatment?
Well, you played basketball 2 weeks later. You probably would. I'm guessing you were. 2 months.
No,
later.
It was serious. I was in traction in the hospital for a month. Then I was in a body cast at home for a month. I mean, they took me to the banquet, and if you're just laying flat, I'm just staring at the ceiling at the banquet. It's like I didn't get an inspirational award, nothing. And then, but you're so dumb, you just go do the next thing, right? Like basketball was next, so I played.
Did you cry, Kenny?
I did not. I was in shock. I think tears were frozen inside me. They would have. I knew it was bad.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know if I can. That's gonna be a tough one because you actually start reliving.
Feeling, yeah.
Whoa. All right. That's good.
The UNLV break. It was at Oregon. I remember it felt like my ankle was underground. That's the best way I can describe it.
Oh,
snapped in half.
Did you hear it? Did you hear it?
The femur, yes. The ankle, no.
Okay. You heard the femur broke? Break.
Isn't that's you know what? That's comedy. That's what people are paying for. The hottest show in Las Vegas. They want to hear about femurs breaking.
Are you in Seattle now, or are you in Vegas?
I'm in Connecticut.
You're in Connecticut.
We're coming out tomorrow to Las Vegas.
Okay.
And my wife's coming. We're going to have a fun couple days playing golf Sunday. And then Monday is the thing. And then I head to the Super Bowl Tuesday. I'm going there principally to do like a convention, go hang out at Radio Row, talk to some folks, do some promotion for my foundation for the veterans. And I was trying, very big long shot, I was trying to pull off the same thing I'm doing Monday. I wanted to do that Wednesday in New Orleans, but I didn't really plan it very well. So I don't think that's happening.
Are you staying in New Orleans for the game?
No, I'm just coming in for like 48 hours.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to Connecticut because next Friday, a week from today, I'm going to the funeral for our beloved friend Gus Williams, Seattle Sonic superstar, led us to our title in '79, became a good friend, and he just passed away a bit ago. And they're going to have a nice thing in New York on Friday, a week from today.
You're the perfect person to ask this question to, because on this show, I'm from Boston, so I'm from Andover, Mass, which is about 20 miles north of Boston.
You took Dennis Johnson from us.
I did.
Actually, he went to Phoenix first. I take that back.
Yeah, Dennis gave me one of my real fun memories because I was working a golf tournament in Andover, and I got to ride with Dennis Johnson and be his caddy for the
Oh,
day.
fun.
And he signed a bunch of stuff for me. So I've been a huge fan.
We loved him. We had Dennis, Gus, Fred Brown off the bench, Jack Sikma, John Johnson, Wally Walker.
But you've been in Connecticut long enough, Kenny, though, because being a guy who grew up in Seattle and Washington and then moved to Connecticut, how do you describe the state of Connecticut? Because you have I have my own perspective of it, but how do you describe the state? Is there anything that you could say like that's Connecticut?
I would say reserved. Like, and we've gotten to know more people. I've been there a long time, and my wife, she had her own friend group before we, so we know we have and people are, we go for walks with the dogs, and people are nice, but there's this thing, and they call it the New England Reserve, and you're walking down the street, and I typically look up and I head nod anybody,
Yeah.
Doesn't matter their color, they're girl, guy,
Right.
whatever they are. Oh, cute dog, you treat people like human beings. And there's something weird here where people they look to this, they don't want to have that moment. Not everybody, but it's more often than most places.
I completely agree. It's just there's no identity to Connecticut. Like my problem with it is that either people want to be from Massachusetts or they want to be from New York.
It's it's known for wiffle ball. The headquarters, the manufacturing center of wiffle ball is in Connecticut. That's part of my movie. And
I
so
did not know that.
I don't know if you guys have the whole thing, this thing I'm doing at Kimmel's.
Yes.
I'm doing like 20 or 30 or whatever I can get out.
Right.
Then we're showing the movie.
Yeah.
So unique.
That's what's awesome.
You don't typically show movies at comedy clubs. It's just to come with an act. I'm kind of bringing mine on tape. I'm just trying to survive the first 30 minutes.
So how long is the movie?
30.
It's perfect.
Okay. So, I mean,
So
all
30,
told,
30 and a few questions, and we turn it into a film festival. Yeah,
that's going to be a fun night. Now, you said you're playing golf on Sunday.
correct.
When's the last time you played golf?
Well, I played indoor golf just yesterday, like at the simulator place.
Did you like that?
I like the new one. The old one I did not like. I thought it was corny, and it didn't measure your failures or success accurately. This one is very accurate. When you hit a good shot.
Right.
Right. You hear the noise.
Yeah. Feel
you
it.
follow through, you turn, you walk up the course. Like everybody knows what a good shot feels like.
Yeah.
This one makes it make sense. The only thing that's weird is you get to the putting. So we're such good putters. We do 12-foot gimme. I mean,
yeah.
if I'm at 10 feet, that's in. Why even bother? It's hard enough. Though. It's fun just to swing. We're just doing a Zoom. Just if you guys, as loud as you want to be is great. It's ambient noise, they call that. What was I talking about? Yeah. So I've started but not perfected a new approach, and I hope it changes everything. I keep watching every time I go, and I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?" And I hope she says she's doing something right. I'm going to bar, then yoga, then I'm fostering goats or something like. She really does. She does that. And good, because they wanted me to golf. They need a fourth, and then they'd have to pay But I tell her that I'm training for the Asian Senior Tour. That's Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the TGL yet? Have you watched that?
I've seen clips, but I have not sat on my couch and looked at it. But I will.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. It did very well when Tiger was playing last week. It did well.
Oh yeah, I heard. I saw some clips. I mean, it's a fun idea. Not as fun as wiffle ball.
Not as fun as wiffle ball. And okay, so Sunday, just bundle up when you bring the cold gear because it's windy as hell here. Just so you know,
I've lived through that. I mean, okay. I remember some like Novembers and Decembers in Vegas in my time there.
Yeah,
they were like cold. It would be mid 30s, but heavy winds.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're dealing with highs of 50 now. Lows of 35.
Warm. I heard Sunday's 70.
Wow, we're getting 70s here.
Wow. Bring us good weather, Kenny. That'd be great.
No.
Please.
I'm just happy to be there.
Right.
So you're going to do the 20 to 30 minutes before.
He's right.
What will people expect? I mean, give them a quick summary of wiffle ball or what they if they come for the show. What more are they getting with
wiffle ball? Is a bonus. Yeah. Who gets a movie at a comedy club? They should be looking at what a value. What a value. This is economic freedom for them. They're
yes.
so most clubs, you might have, usually it's like 3 comics, right? It's like a 90-minute, 2-hour show, and somebody goes for 10 and somebody goes for 20 and the headliner goes for 40 or whatever. This is just me telling childhood stories that help set the table to enjoy the movie Wiffle Ball. And the childhood stories, they're relevant to this movie you're about to see, because we started talking about my childhood, how we played wiffle ball all the time. And Mark Sansevier broke Babe Ruth's home run record in one summer. He really did. We would have my sister come up and sing the anthem. We'd light up fireworks. We'd line the field with sugar or flour. And then we'd play for 9 hours and keep stats. Yeah, we were into it.
All right. Are you pro or con? Can you tape the bat? Is it can't tape the bat?
Con. In fact, the one I'm most con about is if you don't use a skinny yellow bat, it doesn't even count. You can't be using a red fat bat. That's
no.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's for the
blasphemy.
Kids. That's like a minor league bat.
Yeah,
that's
but sometimes, that's a trainer tool. But sometimes you had to, because the bat would break and your sister's not home to take you to Value Mart. So we tried to stock up, but how much money did I have at age 8 or 9?
Yeah, we white taped the barrel on the yellow. We didn't use the red, but we white taped the barrel.
That's legal, but I don't like it when people turn it into a weapon.
Correct.
So there's this guy, my friends of friends, who he was the manager for Drew Carey and why am I forgetting the other gentleman's name? I'll get it. Yeah. Hang on. Drew Carey and Tim Allen. Kind of
there you go.
Okay. I'll do better on the show. I won't use that bit. But they would play wiffle ball at his house up in Hollywood somewhere. And he literally bought his house, the house next door, to expand his wiffle ball field.
Wow.
And people would come and play, they'd have a beer. You could sit inside and watch the game because they had TV monitors. Next up team, you're watching who you're playing next or whatever. Winner stays in.
Oh my!
But that was high level. But that was different than ours. Ours, everybody had different ground rules, right? The main field where we played was kind of a rectangle. It was pretty narrow. If it hit those bushes, foul ball. Those bushes, if it pops back in, fair ball. We just that was a rule.
Right.
There were different kind of bushes, and my dad built me a fence. We put advertising on it. We had a huge home plate, which was a stolen stop sign, actually. Some people do the thing. You don't judge whether it was a strike like in baseball. You judge if it hits the thing behind it was a strike. But that's corny, because you could hit that and still be outside the strike zone.
Correct.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Addison's asking you, Kenny, about the production of wiffle ball. Did you, how did it go? Any tips that you'd like to share on any funny stories about?
I can read the question. I can read Addison's question. I didn't
Thank you.
All that.
That's good.
It started because my good friend Jason Jobs, after I left ESPN, I was doing some stuff for Caesars. We were talking about, let's do some other silly projects. Let's just don't care if we make money or not and do it because we want to do it, right? And we made one of them the summer of 21, I think, where you can still see it, I think, on Twitter, where I commentated on 4-year-olds playing golf, and just the whole thing was, ridiculous. And
mini golf?
Yeah, she's now setting up. Here's Aubrey on one, and she's asking her mom a question, and we put it out, and it actually kind of got good attention. I was hoping somebody would go, "That's funny. We'll give you money and make us 10 more," but that didn't happen. Right. And then sometime later, I was at the Seattle Sports Award show, and Ken Griffey was getting an award, and he gave a great speech. And after it was over, I went, "Hey man, great speech, good to see you." And he brings up the day we threw wiffle balls 34 years previous. Yeah. I'm like, he's still thinking about that? Like that, I can think about it, but for him to think about it is kind of funny, right? Yeah. So I, in the moment, I think I called Jason that night or the next. I said, "Dude, I think I have our next idea. Let's make a comedy doc about that day that I threw wiffle balls with Ken Griffey." It's very Seattle centric. There's references to Dick Williams and the Kingdom and my childhood, and then we show the old clip of me and Griffey throwing wiffle balls, and Ken Burns is in it, the head of wiffle balls in it, a university professor is in it. I asked him to analyze the tape because I still think I beat Griffey by 1 mile per hour, but I think my cameraman double clicked. I think it happened and he didn't shoot it.
So it's still controversial.
I can give it. Nah, it's not that. Nobody cares. On tape, we tied. But
okay.
You got to see it play out. Part of the film I call it a film. It's really just a long video, but it's way fucking cooler to call it a film. Is it?
Right.
It's art film.
Kenny, you can call it whatever the hell you want. It's yours.
Yeah. It's a period piece. So yeah, it's a thing. It's on. It's happening.
Now, last one for me, sir. Do you think kids will ever do that again? Like I have.
Wait, I didn't answer
my youngest
this question
is 11.
comprehensively. Was it Austin who asked that question?
Addison, yes.
Yeah,
Addison, close enough. Yes. Same guy. We know who he is. What's in the name? The tip, like, it was so fun being my own boss and just, hey, let's shoot this day. So that was fun. I think I would have prepared a little more. You know what I mean? Like thought ahead. If we do this, it means that. Okay. Instead, we just rolled. But there was something kind of cool about that too, because it was so raw. There's several scenes where we show me, hey, which shirt should I wear? You know, like we're showing the behind the scenes as we shoot the movie. So
right.
Sorry. So I interrupted your question. Sorry.
No, that's all right. I was just going to ask you, will kids ever do this again? This was your whole summer. Like, I mean, like when we played wiffle ball, we met at the park, we played for hours. I mean, you guys sounded like you went a little bit even further with keeping stats and putting advertising on the wall. What will kids do like that again? Because my youngest is 11. And there is no chance in hell she's going outside, at least here in Vegas, spending the summer meeting at the park with her friends doing anything. That was a fun time. Is there anything else that they could do?
I know that these, and I sound like the old guy, but you know that it's true. Those have taken time away from the things you're talking about. Right. But I still see kids going and playing pickup basketball and skateboards and bikes and playing with dogs. But I don't know that they're going to commit to the 10 hours of wiffle ball that we did because there are so many more choices, but I'm kind of happy with it. Like that was a fun childhood.
Production wise, making of the phone. They talk about the
phone.
phone.
$3 million and we need to get it back.
What
was $3 million?
That was a joke.
Oh, okay.
I was like, wait a second. We got to do a lot more shows, Kenny. If 3 million's the number, holy.
No, it was not nothing. Right. But it wasn't a crazy number.
Right.
You know, but I wanted to do it as sort of my next, all right, I want to do these. I want to do one after the other and pick another subject.
But do you have to shoot and produce for the phone, for that attention span? Does it change the way you've done previous content, knowing the way that the consumer now takes, not that much time to consume it? When
I was at ESPN and when I was at Caesars, we definitely knew to make 60-second bits, 45. We did a funny one with Dr. J at Caesars. It was March Madness. He was speaking. We got him for 5 minutes, and I'm at the Papa shot, and I was actually hot. I'm not a great shooter, but I crushed. I just Fred Brown. Everything's going, and then Dr. J comes in, and it's like slow motion. He comes in and he does like a finger roll right to the. It's silly. It's just like a visual piece of comedy. There was no dialogue that made it funny. But seeing Dr. J interrupt me at Papa Shop to finger roll is funny. We had another one, Muggsy Bogues, right? The 5'4" superstar basketball player. We were in the suite and we're walking in. I say something like, you know what? I always loved your game, man. I hated how people always made a big deal about your height. Like you're some little kid, that bothered me. And then I walk out of the shot and you cut to him and he's jumping up and down on the bed. There you go. So we did that. And we kept those to, like I said, 45 or a minute because people are like, oh, that was funny, 45. I don't have to sit through Ken Burns for 3 hours. But personally, I'm boring, man. I still like Ken Burns for 3 hours. Like,
yeah, agreed.
I'll sit and I can stay and pay attention. But there's long form and there's short form, and this is in the middle. This is 30 minutes.
Very cool. All right. Before we let you go, we probably won't talk to you again before the Super Bowl. So who is winning in New Orleans?
What are you talking about? I'll talk to you on Monday night.
Well, on the show, I mean, we'll see you Monday, but like on the show.
I like Philadelphia, and I'm not a Kansas City hater. I don't believe in that conspiracy thing. The whole thing about they show Taylor Swift too much is stupid. They don't. Right. The game's 3 hours. The pregame's 4 hours. The postgame's another 2. The thing's on for 10 hours, right? That's excluding any other stuff you watch. And they're probably going to show her for 40 to a minute, maybe at the most.
Tops.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is totally normal. If you're at a Knicks game, you show Spike Lee. If you're at the Lakers in the old days, you got Jack Nicholson. It's kind of normal. Oh, look who's here. It makes the event cooler, right?
Right.
That's not why I'm rooting against her. I'm not even whatever happens, I don't have a vested interest, but I got definitely some friends from Philadelphia. They're all charged up. And I think Saquon's a huge difference, but I think they're going to let Jalen loose more than you expect, because they're going to expect them to want to eat the clock and keep Mahomes off the field.
Yeah. Neil said to ask you who you liked, because he was going to call you to put a bet in while you're in Vegas. And I told Neil, leave Kenny alone. He's doing a show. Yeah. Yeah. Last time we were on, Neil he
claims I stiffed him. I don't remember that incident even happened. I would never do that. I would never do that.
I know.
If he asked me to bet on the Kentucky Derby as they're loading in the gate, sorry, I can't get to the window. Like,
right. Yeah.
Hey, weren't we made this, you guys asked about it ahead of time. I don't know if right now Austin, is his name Austin?
Yeah, Addison.
Yep. Addison, same guy.
Same guy.
Is he the only one who's entered to win 2 tickets?
No, we were doing a whole contest for you on. We're going to run it to have today and tomorrow. So
Okay.
we'll pull it tomorrow for you.
Wow.
Kenny Mayne show happened on Monday night. You guys subscribe to our YouTube channel and then get on our Discord channel and tag me with the picture of you being subscribed to our YouTube channel. We'll pull the name tomorrow morning. And we'll tell you who that person and then Dave and I will be there with you on Monday.
I'll give you the ticket lady. You'll tell her the person's name. It'll all work out.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Travel safe from Connecticut out here to Vegas. We'll see you on Monday, Kenny.
Swing it straight on Sunday, Kenny.
Say again?
Swing it straight on
Sunday. Yes, I'll try. With my new method. Thank you guys for your time.
Take care, man. That's Kenny Mayne joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. Always great to get him on the program. Monday night, once again, here in Las Vegas.
He's coming across the country, right? Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Vegas Saturday, golf Sunday in Vegas, show Monday, fly to New Orleans Tuesday, hang out in New Orleans Tuesday, Wednesday, back home Thursday for the funeral. I mean, that's a busy week.
It's a busy week. Once again, if you guys want to enter in the tickets, you got to be able to come to Vegas for it, okay? But it's Monday night at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, then tag me on our Discord at Sports Talk Matt, thebvbshow.com to join it. It's free to join our Discord channel. We'll pull the winner on tomorrow morning, Saturday morning at 8 o'clock Pacific time for you guys. If you'd like to go, make sure you can use the tickets because it's going to be a fun night. Dave and I both will be there. Looking forward to having a really fun night on Monday night at Kimmel's Club here in Vegas, which I've not gone to yet. So I'm excited. You know, it's funny to see, we were talking about with Kenny, we're talking about technology and so I'm like Taylor Sheridan, I'm borderline obsessed with right now of the stuff that he produces. So I watched Landman. I watched the whole thing in 3 days, ripped through it. So I liked his writing so much. I was like, man, this guy's an incredible writer. So now I started watching 1883. I ripped through 1883 in 2 days, 10 episodes, ripped through it. So now I'm on to 1923 because Yellowstone is the first thing he did, but then he did prequel. So it's 1883, 1923, and then Yellowstone. So I'm on 1923 now. 1883, the writing is so good and it's a completely unsolicited double thumbs up from me. But when you watch it and you realize the way we used to be and the way our kids used to be about boredom, like think about how many people had to come out here and how many people died to transfer from our neck of the woods in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, to come out to Nevada, to Washington State, to California. That trek over those generations of years. And like the kids sat in the back of a wagon for months. They just sat there. They didn't do anything. They just sat there. And they had no real, like maybe they had a book. Maybe if they're lucky. Maybe they had something that they had a frog to go play with. They chased grasshoppers. They went around. And it's just funny to me that I look at the level of entertainment that our kids have. Our kids are never bored, really. Like they're never not stimulated in some form or fashion. And that's got to be doing something negative to our kids. Like there's no way we're not, you know, think about that. 10 hours playing wiffle ball. I used to stand with my friend. We used to play 21 until the lights would turn on and our parents and the street lights would come on and be like, go home. Like you would just sit there and shoot baskets. Just the two of us would just shoot baskets for hours on ends.
Was the best. I still love just doing nothing, like going for a walk and doing nothing and just walking around. All that stuff was awesome. It happened yesterday. Jess has got some major thing going on at work, so she's been working 12 hours a day. I mean, me and Kendall are just bonding where we haven't seen her. You know, we're doing this and doing that, and I'm busy doing shows. Yesterday was a monster long day. I come down, she's got scissors, paper towel, all this stuff on the table, and I go, "What are you doing right now?" She goes, "I looked at this video," and I look at this video, and it's how to make flowers out of paper towels.
And that's the benefit, right? That's the other side. Madeline does that too. And it's hard to get angry with them because they watch something and they want to create it afterwards. Like Madeline's done that with different things she's wanted to make and different things that she sees. And she's like, oh, I want to, but like they're watching a screen for that. Like as a dad, how do you feel about that? That comes from a screen.
Well, I said to her, I said, wow, you can really learn anything from YouTube videos, huh? And she's like, I guess so. But, you know, she did it until she was done. And then she went and picked up a book and read a book. Good. And like, she has figured out how being the only one here for, you know, periods at a time, and grandma and pap are here. But a lot of times she don't want to sit with grandma and pap because they're watching something she don't want to watch. And she don't want to hang out with them. So she got a little bit of space. I'm amazed. She's a throwback to our times. You know,
no, that's good. Madeline reads. She's now obsessed with Percy Jackson, and there's 35 books in the series.
Oh wow!
So and she's on book 10. So she gave herself. She has to read 66 pages a day to be on pace to finish this by the end of the year.
Oh wow!
Which, I'm like, she did the math. She came up with how many pages she had to go ahead and read. To, you know, some days she goes more, some days she goes less, but she knows she has to be on average of 66 pages a day to read. And like that, I love that. But oftentimes it's because that, you know, I've shut off the screen. I've been like, okay, you're done. She gets 30 minutes to an hour on screen time a day, and then she's done. And then she has to go find something else to do. The older she gets, the shorter the screen time is becoming, just because we're seeing what happens at school. And these kids don't disconnect. I tell my college kids all this all the time. And I'm sure you feel the same way about this, Dave. I couldn't imagine being in high school and having an ability to either A, track my girlfriend because we share our locations, or B, have the ability to text them and say, what are you doing? Where are you? Whenever I wanted to. Like there was no disconnect. There was no shut off. Like I think my girlfriend's fathers would have shot me and that's how I look ahead now going like, how do we shut off? You've gone through this. I haven't gone through high school yet. I don't know how with phones, like kids are constantly accessible to their other friends and boyfriends and girlfriends. They're never actually disconnected. You have to like physically take away their stuff.
Yeah, well, it's good and bad. I'll leave it at that.
I think it's bad. I don't think it's good. Yeah. I mean, it just creates situations that are unnecessary of like, well, I saw you were here. You told me you were there. Like,
between the kids, I'm talking about from a parent standpoint.
No,
you can't control what they do.
Between kids, you know, like between the children, like, I couldn't imagine I've been in high school and like I tell you to like my UNLV kids all the time. I'm like, you guys can literally ask at 2:00 in the morning, where are you, to your girlfriend? Like we had to wait till like the next day at school to like, you got shut off at 9:00.
I didn't want to know.
Oh, most people wanted to know what they were doing or what was going on. If there's some big thing happened, you want to tell your girlfriend, you can't do it till the next day at school. You can't call them after 9:00.
That was it.
Yeah. We had our own rings. Kids, we had our own phone. We had one phone line, then we had our own rings, and then some kids had their own phone lines, but those things got shut off. Like dad would come and physically take the phone out of the room, and you couldn't call them till the next morning. You would have beepers. Oh, remember beepers? Gosh, that's back in the day, you would send text messages or beepers.
We're talking about all this stuff that, you know, the kids are sitting here going, what are these old dudes talking about, right?
100%.
But it was a different pace of life. I can tell you this. I talked to Meadowlands Rob this morning.
Right.
He's waiting at home for delivery for his kid's phone because his kid's phone broke at school.
Right.
And he had it delivered to the house. So he's sitting there waiting. And he realized that he can't call Joey Balls, the kid, because and I'm like, Joey Balls can't call you either because there's no payphones.
Right.
Like, so, you know, there was always like at the beginning, it was dimes, then it was quarters on you. So you could run it to the payphone and call home and say what time you were going to be home and stuff. I love not having the phone for hours at a time. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
We should all do that.
100%. But Mine beeper codes. Remember beeper codes? That's tremendous. Beeper code was 67. That's great.
Oh, the juice.
People, different codes that came in. Yeah. It was always parents would see a beeper and be like, your friend's a drug dealer. And my friend's not a drug dealer. My friend's got a beeper. Like it doesn't make you a drug dealer just because you have a beeper. Why? Who else has has beepers? Only drug dealers have beepers. No, people want beepers just for the hell of it, Mom. It's not.
Can we go back to that? I love that.
Beepers or that time?
Yeah.
That time. I don't know. It's a part of me feels like as I watch these old time shows, a part of me feels like we are going to go back to it because a part of me feels like that humans are going to start to reject everything that comes with technology, that we're going to get to a breaking point and we're going to realize that we're not okay with this. We don't want to be accessible all the time. We don't want to have our location tracked. We don't want to know everything we've read today to be in someone's file to know, well, Matt went to 18 websites today and 15 of them were sports gambling related and 2 of them were this and one was that. Okay. And like, I don't think people are starting to get very annoyed about the idea that they don't really have much privacy, real privacy, and they want real privacy to be left alone.
Yeah.
So
there's times for it. I think you need to take it and to be overwhelmed with it. Oh, Brian Bartone, see you working in the chat. I had a bag phone in my car way back.
Oh yeah, I remember my uncle who was loaded. My uncle had the first ever cell phone. It was a bag phone in his car, and I was like, "You have a car phone? How do you have a car?" It was one of those big pleather fake black bags
on the floor,
or in between the 2 seats. Yeah,
you
just stuck it right there.
Seat. Yep.
And I was like, "You have a phone?" And then he got the big brick thing.
Yeah.
He had that big gigantic thing that was there.
Yeah.
And then when I was in high school, when I was in college, I mean, I told the story before, but my first cell phone was when I was between sophomore and junior year of college. And when we became juniors, the StarTech phone, the first ever flip phone came out. And everybody at UMass was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Like kids, to blow your mind, we used to have to pay per text message. Like text messages, we had like 250 text messages a month that we paid ahead for. And if you went over, they charged you like 50 cents every time you sent a text message.
That was a wake-up call the first time you went over.
Woof, was it ever?
When you go over the number, sometimes it's good. When you go over that number, it was bad.
Yeah.
I remember the first time that number went over, me and Jess, because I was at work at the book and didn't really use my phone. She was at work at the pharmacy and got a lot of text. Like she started to really text a lot of things. It was just easier.
I was way ahead of the curve on that. I told everybody, don't call me, text me.
That's which Jess did too.
Yep.
And we got that first bill and I was like, hold on, something has to change. We either have to up this or we got to go if you're going to do this, we're in trouble. We can't afford it.
Remember they used to make us go to 9 p.m. You had
unlimited calling was it
peak hours, unlimited nights, and you had unlimited nights and weekends. That's tremendous. Yep. I remember that.
Good call.
Free nights and weekends. That was like a big selling point. Like, hey, by the way, if you call on nights and weekends, you get to call for free. Otherwise, you got to use your minutes. Like, what minutes? Like, yeah, you got to use Singular. Remember that before AT&T bought Singular? That was the big company. It was Singular, and they would have like $500 a month specials. Like, hey, we'll give you 500 minutes for $500, whatever the hell it was. We'd pay for the minutes. We'd pay for text messages, and now it's
a lot of nighttime talking.
Hell yeah,
a lot of nighttime talking.
All weekends. Yeah, sending text messages was always. I used to always tell people, like, look, just send me a text. If you don't need to, I remember asking the guy at the store once, I was like, can I just pay for texts and not pay for phone? He's like, what do you mean? I go, I don't want people to call me. Just people text me. He's like, no, sir, we don't do that. You have to buy a plan. The plan comes with everything. You can't do that. I'm sorry. Oh, it's so
at the beginning, I was like, I'll never text. I just call me. If you need me, call me.
Right.
Otherwise,
then people realized that there's records of it. When you hit delete, because in the beginning we thought if you hit delete, the thing actually deleted, and then we realized that it doesn't actually delete. There's a record of that in the towers and everything else. That again, you're not really private. All your text messages, all your sexting, you're going back and forth. There's some guy in like Wichita who's reading all of your text messages. By the way, just FYI. So just to let you know, you're not really private. You're not really, this one-to-one conversation is like 1, 2, and 3 people reading it along with you. So just FYI. That's why I'm always like, okay,
This
kids.
Mr. Anderson, Stevie Anderson said, my roommate in college had a $955 phone bill because of texting.
Damn,
Man,
that's
woo,
brutal.
that one would blow my mind. Oh my gosh, I got kids in
Remember, I
college.
first started dating my first girlfriend. Phone bill was over 600.
600 jack off. Yeah.
Yikes.
My God.
Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang up the phone. I'm on AOL. It's not the phone. It's a fax,
It's a fax
coming in.
in.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I have to fax my medical records to a doctor in Boston, and I'm dead serious. I have to download an app, a fax app, and then scan it with my phone
Just
into
run
the
over
fax.
to the store and they'll fax it.
It's
20
75 pages. They charge you 10 cents a page. It's gonna be like $10 to send it. It's ridiculous. Plus, the driving over there is a pain in the ass to send a fax. It's ridiculous. It's either but it's like faxes. That's how we used to communicate. Like up to like 15 years ago, that was the mode of you'd sign it and fax it back. Sign it and fax it back. Nope, not anymore.
It
That's
was
not gonna work.
instantaneous. That I'll never forget the first time somebody said, I'm going to fax you something. Okay. And then they did. And it was like, wow, that came through right now. It was like you just said it a minute ago. It was groundbreaking at the time.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
Oh.
It was so cool. I mean, it was all so neat. It was all like, wait a minute, page goes into the machine and it comes out on the other side and it actually is the same. They're like, yeah, it's the same. Whoa, really?
Yeah.
I remember my first time I saw a picture on an email. I thought that was so wild. In college, we had the DOS, just the whatever, the blue screen email.
Right.
And the first picture, like the download that took like 10 minutes for a picture to be sent.
Right.
You're like, oh my God, we can send pictures now?
Yeah.
Whoa, this is neat. It was all, I mean, it's just such a different
old.
world now in terms of where we are. And fax spam at the office. Remember that? People just fax out to random people. Like, what the hell are you doing? I don't know who you are. Like, why are you sending this stuff to me?
Well, that used to be a sales method too.
Right. Yeah,
Like, you
absolutely.
just, get the office fax number and send them the
Yep.
offer. We started doing that when I graduated school and came home and was working with my dad. I was like, Dad, we're going to fax everyone a lunch special.
Oh, wow.
At downtown. I'm going to get all of these offices because we were downtown Pittsburgh, surrounded by office buildings, lawyers' offices, all this other stuff. Come pick up your whatever.
Yeah.
At Ralph's, during this lunch hour. You only get this offer via fax. You have to bring in the fax, copy, whatever, to get the coupon. I was just trying to do anything to keep the business going.
Sure.
He was like, does that cost anything? I'm like, no, it's a fax.
Yeah, it's fax. There's up to like a couple of years ago, CBW. I think they just recently stopped doing recruits via text. By fax, rather. I think now it's done via text, but it used to be done up to like a couple of years ago. It was still old school fax to send in your letter of intent. Now it means nothing because there is no letter of intent because you can just go back in the portal and do whatever you want. So
it's so different.
Yeah, it's so different now.
Yeah.
All right, what happened last night? Nebraska and UCLA both wins at home, straight up against ranked opponents. UCLA destroyed Oregon, destroyed Oregon.
Yep,
embarrassed them. I was pretty impressed with UCLA. Do you see any of it?
Yeah, I saw enough of it to see that. I mean, the travel's real. Like the travel is beating up teams.
Yeah.
And they were on some rough stretches, and now they've been home, and they've been laying it on people. So
yeah,
that was one. Penn State was ass. The Jews, they were terrible.
Illinois wasn't very good either. I mean, Illinois lost again. I mean,
I watched almost that whole game.
They're dying at the moment. They're in trouble.
They didn't lead the game once.
Yeah,
they were
but
tied.
Nebraska had lost 6 games in a row. They were back at home. Like that was a wounded animal. Like that, Nebraska had to win that game.
There was no end of game plan. Like they just were because there was a couple guys on Illinois that I wanted to shoot the ball. I was watching it. I'm like,
right.
Give him the ball.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Real shooters.
They have 2 guys that 25, and I forget their names. I can't pronounce them, but they could shoot. And when they got open, they were knocking them down. They didn't touch the ball.
Right.
I was like,
but that's
yeah,
also
this
credit
thing,
to defense for
I know,
Hoiberg.
but like there was no plan. It was awful rebounding by Illinois. You're right. Marcelo Onda. Okay, Joel Allner. They have 0 size. I don't know. I crossed them off the list last night. I was like, this team
Illinois?
right now, I can't. I'm not.
Yeah.
Not putting that earlier.
I mean, you can't get guys. What one guy went 0 for 7 from behind the 3-point line for Illinois. One kid went 0 for 4, 1 for 4. Like you can't 3 for 10, 4 for 10. Riley can shoot. I mean, that kid can shoot, but it's just, you start looking at some of these numbers and they went 10 of 42 from behind the arc. That's 23%.
I think it was 2 of 17 in the first half.
Yeah, just awful. Like you can't shoot like that on the road. You can't shoot like that and expect to win games, especially when the team you're playing is so desperate to get a win. So unfortunately for Illinois, it's another loss for them. And Illinois now, they lost to USC, Michigan State, Maryland, and Nebraska. They've lost 4 of 6. And their resume now at 14-7. I mean, at one point in time, they were up there. Like after a couple of those big wins, people were like, they beat Wisconsin. People were like, okay, here comes Illinois. And they're just going in the wrong way. Like they're going in the wrong direction. The Wizards got destroyed by the Lakers last night.
Oh my
134-96. Washington now is 6-41. I mean, it's hard to call them an NBA basketball team.
Yeah.
They're really bad.
I watched a little bit of it at the beginning, and then I was like, what am I even wasting my time for? Right? There's no chance. I was like joking on Sports Grid, like you could take them plus 30.5 in the first half. They didn't cover that.
Right.
And so now, how many games did they win?
I don't know. I was thinking that
worst
this morning.
record ever is what? 9-72, 9-73, right? 82 games. I think the worst record ever is 9-73.
They'll win more than 9 games, but not many.
Like how many more?
Yeah, a lot. Maybe
12?
11, 12 total. I mean, maybe twice. Maybe they double this up. Maybe. It's really bad. It's really bad.
That's terrible.
They're really terrible. You know what was fun last night was watching this hockey game. Was supposed to be low scoring. It was 5-4. Senators beat the Capitals.
Turned into a score fest.
Yeah.
Halfway through. It was like 1-1. Look, and then it was 3-1 all of a sudden. Ottawa scored 2 quick ones. And then the Capitals came back. Ovi got a goal, little wrist shot from almost a point. It was awesome. That was a fun hockey game. But again, power play city. Again, the game changes so quickly with power plays. It's literally like turnovers in football. As soon as you get a couple power plays and they score, game changes everything.
This is my point, Chevy P. The Sens are climbing. Like, are we buying Ottawa? They're playing pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat the Capitals. Okay. I mean, I'm starting to go maybe take a look at Ottawa a little bit.
I think it's worth noting.
Paying
everything's
attention.
going to come to a screeching halt in 12 days.
Right. Because of the nation's tournament. The
guys
the opt-outs are weird. You find that strange that they said that they were going to play and then a bunch of players are opting out of that?
Yeah. Yes.
There's no penalty for opting out of it. You're just like, oh, I'm not playing. Like, what do you mean? You said everything we were going to play and then you're not playing? Like, wait, what?
I think they have to sit out one game for their team if they're sitting out or something.
No, that's what you have to sit out for. I read it. It's normally the penalty from opting out of an event like this. You sit one game. They waived that. You don't have to sit. If you opt out of the Four Nations tournament, you don't have to sit anymore. You'll play the first game back. So you don't lose a game check.
Wow.
On the All-Star game. Thank you. That's what it is. You opt out of the All-Star game and you missed one game afterwards.
Okay.
But not for this. You can just opt out and keep playing when schedules come back. There's no penalty for it. Which I get.
I don't know. It'll be a fun. I mean, it's an 8-day, like from beginning to end. I think it's 8 days or 9 days.
Yeah. It's a hockey head thing, though. It's a very niche hockey head thing. Like the general public's gonna be like, what the hell is this? What are we watching?
I just hope that the players take it serious that play. Like, I don't want to see 9-8, nobody hitting anybody in international all-star games. Like, you have to play defense. You don't have to run somebody, But you have to play defense. Otherwise, it's like watching pond hockey, and that'll get old quick.
Yeah. If it's like
Are you
7
good? Did you get what was that text? You good?
Kenny Mayne asked me for my handle on social media.
Oh, sweet.
I don't know why. He just said, "What's your handle on social media?" So I wanted to answer him. So
All right.
I don't know why, but Kenny was asking for that, so I'm answering Kenny on that point. All right, your favorite time of the year is back, Dave. The thing you love, mock draft time.
Oh God! How do you make that noise on the table when you go?
Yeah, you just drop everything.
Drop it all.
Sorry,
Will. I hate this shit.
You do. I know you hate it, but
God,
you can bet on it, so it is relevant. I mean, you
Oh,
can bet on this if you want. But a cornerback wide receiver is projected by Yahoo Sports and Rivals to go number 1 overall to the Titans.
Okay.
If you were the Titans and we watched how bad that they are,
Yep.
would you keep the pick or trade the pick?
Keep the pick or trade the pick. What am I getting for the trade?
Not as much as what the Bears got last year.
That's what I mean. Like, if I'm not getting
Hall,
I have to get impactful stuff. Otherwise,
you get impactful stuff, but there's no quarterback that's going to make everybody jump up and down. I mean, Cam Ward going 2 might be a little bit too high, but yeah, Nikki, you're right. The Patriots probably would take Carter if he's there, and I think that's been the number one pushback that I've seen from people when they've looked at the mock draft for Yahoo and they've gone, wait a minute, how in the hell is Abdul Carter not coming off the board really fast? Because him dropping all the way down to 7 would be stunning. But after the Senior Bowl, Shedeur Sanders going to the Giants, everyone's saying, do you buy the idea that the Giants just will not draft an African-American quarterback? Do you buy that nonsense?
Somebody's actually saying that?
Oh, yeah. A lot of people have said that. Yeah. That they won't draft an African. I mean, they've had Tyrod Taylor before. Like, no, I don't think that's good. But Shedeur going 3rd, I still don't think that's Ward going before him. Don't agree with that. Abdul Carter going 7th. That would be somewhat stunning to see that. And the Patriots would be at 4. They're the likely landing spot for Abdul Carter. But I want offensive line more than defensive line. The offensive line sucks, and Drake May's your guy. Like, you got to protect Drake May.
We're 1 hour into the show. Give them their first poll. Give the boys and girls their first poll. Will you make a bet on the NFL draft? Yes or no?
I love this fight with you.
I can't wait to see what this number is.
Because every
year,
put
the glasses on in case I nod off while you're talking about this.
In case in case I
nod off.
Oh, nod off. I thought you said I thought not nod, but got. I was like, what did you just say?
Before I what?
Yes, exactly.
You better get that one earpiece fixed. It sounds like you get every other word. Nod off. Not anything else. We've talked about a lot of stuff on the show. Not talking about that. We have Jack Hoff, one of our, resident people that watch the show. But will you make a bet on the NFL draft? Yes or no? You can.
It's in April, by the way.
Only one bet. King of car seats. You can make 1,000. The answer is yes or no. That's it. Because the answer for me is absolutely not. I don't care if you tell me who's going to get drafted.
I thought you were all about value. If someone gives you a value play,
I got your value right here.
No way. You want no part of it?
Will you make a bet on the NFL?
No value.
Draft? Vote now. Watching the show.
Okay.
Lena Scrimmage is busy watching hockey that night. Me and you. Wow. Addison said, "I'd rather bet marble racing." Can you bet that, Addison?
What's marble?
Santana? By the way, I saw it. The Dodgers are still minus 380 to win the NL West.
Yes, thank you.
Baseball will have commenced by then.
Those are Carlos BB glasses. That's a good call.
Are they?
You've seen The Hangover, haven't you?
Yeah.
The baby. He puts the glasses on the baby.
Neighbor,
on Carlos.
Neighbor Patrick gave me these. I don't know. He said, "Wear this on your show." They're nice.
Yeah, they're definitely.
Wear these on the walk sometimes.
1970 Vegas. Oh my.
I don't know.
I'll be betting ping pong. I got a story for you if you're going to be betting.
How about
ping
that,
pong.
D-Weeze?
I got a story for you coming up later in the show. All right, tomorrow, and we'll do Roll Call Friday here in about 15 minutes, guys. So get ready with Roll Call Friday. Yep. I mean, tomorrow is a college basketball dream. There are so many big games. Let's start with number 1, Auburn on the road at Ole Miss. Do you concur that Auburn's the best team in the country, or do you think someone else has that claim? This is a 6-point win according to KenPom.
Ole Miss live to win a game?
I don't think so. No.
Hi, Melanie Sue. Good afternoon to you. Yes, we're sticking with sports today, hoping no Urban Dictionary. I mean, unless you got something you want me to read, I'll be glad to do it.
No, not today.
Good to see you, though.
Not today.
Yeah.
I think Auburn wins the game. The question is going to be, does Auburn cover?
Okay.
So I don't.
Well, has Auburn won games? What is their record against the spread? They've been pretty good against the spread, have they not?
Oh, Auburn. I'll tell you, there's that record right now. Auburn against the spread this year, ATS wise, is 11-8-1. They're 5-3 in 1 at home. They're 6-5 on the road, but they're just 2-5 in the SEC ATS.
Okay.
Ole Miss is 5-3, but they haven't covered in 3 games. Ole Miss is a road team. They're 8-2 ATS on the road. At home, they're a little shakier.
Right.
So to me, it's money line Auburn. Find a dance partner, but don't play around. Cooper Flag gets his first taste of North Carolina Duke tomorrow. Duke at home laying 13.5 points.
North Carolina has so many questions.
They stink.
Over?
Stink. 81-66. Carolina's not going to score. Duke's defense is legit.
What time is that game? Is that a PM game? Evening or midday?
That game will tip off at 6:30. Yes, Cameron Indoor. 9:30. 9:30 Saturday night.
Wow.
Late night party at Cameron.
Ugh. North Carolina's going to get crushed, right? Yeah, the North Carolina's going to get crushed. Yeah.
If Cooper Flag gets going, forget it. Like, no answer. 81-66 is KenPom's projection for the game. So, I mean, 15 points. So, right,
Does North Carolina make the tournament?
No, at the moment, no. I mean, they're already.
Is there still an NIT?
Yes, they're already doing this in Chapel Hill for Hubert Davis. They're already getting ready to fire him. Like, you see it after every game. Who's the coach next year of North Carolina? Because it's not going to be Hubert Davis.
Wow.
It's hard to argue. I mean, they're 13-9. They've lost to Stanford, Wake Forest, and Pitt in an overtime win over Boston College, in which they were lucky to win that game in overtime at Boston College. This should be 4 straight losses. Oh, here come the Carolina people. If we beat Duke once and make a run in the ACC tournament, we'll make the tournament. I don't know, man. See?
That's a big ask, Ian. What Hubert is doing is not acceptable at Chapel Hill.
Ian, that's what, 1 year? He has a top 10 recruit in college basketball with the transfer portal. He has him for a year. UNC's a football school now. Hard to argue. Hard to argue.
Listen, I don't know who's getting fired, who's not. I hate even discussing that. I just know that right now I'm trying to figure out, are they going to make the tournament or not? I would say no right now. You hoop heads in the chat. Is North Carolina going to make the tournament? Yes or no?
Their best wins over UCLA. Okay. It's a decent win, but their losses are mounting. They've lost to Kansas, Auburn, Alabama, Florida, Pitt, Louisville. Like, anybody good they've played, they've lost.
Yeah.
So it's not just about who you've played. It's who have you beaten. They've beaten nobody.
And let's be honest, the ACC is not the best.
No, the conference is not going to help you. And you could make a run in the tournament because it's the Duke Carolina Invitational in the ACC tournament. But Florida, Tennessee, banger in the SEC. Banger. 4.5. Tennessee favored. 141.5 the total. Whoo, baby, this is low.
3-point win. Florida to be down in the first half. Tennessee in the first half, probably.
Okay.
Then Florida get a roaring comeback after they're down. And there's Nikki Ciaramella. Says Florida in the over.
So Florida.
I don't know if this is an over the game.
On the road, it's hard, but Florida's 7-2 ATS on the road this year. Tennessee is 8-4 ATS at home.
Right.
But from a total perspective, Florida is a team defensively that it's hard to get to the overs with them.
Right.
They're 4-1 to the under over their last 5. They're
Right.
7-3 to the under over the last 10.
I like the
Defensively,
under.
Florida's good.
I like the under. Just looking at that.
And Tennessee, too. It's the way Tennessee plays. Yeah, I would tend to go with you, too. I like the under of the game.
Yeah.
Under 141.5 for these two. Houston is favored by 8.5, and the total is 128.5 against Texas Tech.
My goodness.
128.5.
It's actually higher than it was against West Virginia.
Yep.
So Houston's back at home finally?
Yes.
Wow. I don't know what I don't know the first thing about Texas Tech, to be perfectly honest. I don't
Texas
know what to
Tech. Texas Tech's okay. I mean, they're ranked. They've won 5 games in a row. They beat Kansas State, Arizona, Cincinnati, Oklahoma State, and TCU, but they've lost to Iowa State. They've lost to Texas A&M. They lost to Florida. They beat BYU on the road, which is a monster win for them. BYU is great. They're 7-2 in the Big 12. Like Texas Tech has played very well in conference. The non-con is okay. Lost to St. Joe's, beat Wyoming and Syracuse. Sorry, CBW, but Tech's okay. I mean, they're okay. I don't think that they cover this number though. I think Houston at home. I'm not sure how many points Texas Tech's going to score.
Lay it before I take it.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at with that.
You want to see someone's head fly off their shoulders? If UConn loses,
what?
Someone's head fly off their shoulders.
Like,
yeah,
why?
Bobby, because if Danny Hurley loses this game to Marquette.
What do you mean? They're 7.5-point dogs. They are going to lose.
I would agree, but you're going to see him flip out
on the road.
This is a home. Marquette's at home. UConn's on the road. Yep. 77-69 final, according to KenPom. This would make Marquette 10-1. And this is a game that Connecticut, I mean, they need this game. They're 7-3. If they lose this game, they go to 7-4 in the Big East. It is pretty much over for them to win the conference. This is a must win for UConn.
I don't think they're winning. I don't. Watch them the other night. They go through stretches too, where they don't know who to give the ball to.
Yeah.
Like it's just times, when you watch the games. I mean, we saw it when even Creighton was here. They didn't know who to throw the ball to.
Right.
And it got low in the shot clock, and then it was a bad possession. And they do that 2 and 3 times. The other team goes down and makes a lead go from 3 to 6 to 8. And all of a sudden you're like, damn, they may be out of it. That's the way UConn looks.
And the bookmakers are pretty smart when it comes to the numbers, because on the road against Nova, they were a 1-point dog. They lost by 2. On the road against Xavier, they were 1.5-point dogs. They lost by 4. So now they're a 7.5-point dog. They probably, it'd be hard to see them win the game. They may not, they may cover.
Yeah.
But Marquette, they're going to go 10-1. St. John's is right there, but the UConn, there was some thought about UConn to win the Big East. They lose this game and it's over. See you later.
Oh, Nikki said that UConn's still missing their star freshman.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
McNeely's been out. McNeely's been out for a while. They need McNeely to come back. If he comes back, then I think they're a tournament team. But that might be kind of all they are.
Okay.
Mississippi State at home against Missouri. Another SEC 2 top 25 matchups here. I don't know what to make it. I don't know what to make of Mississippi State yet. I really have no opinion on this game.
The first thought would be dog, but I know nothing. I have not seen Mississippi State play 1 second of basketball.
Okay.
In
They're
full disclosure.
9-12 ATS on the year. They haven't covered in 6 straight games. They're 4-6 at home. They've been really inconsistent. They lost 2 games, 1 game, lost 1, lost to Bama. They were favored at home. They lose to Alabama. They were on the road favored by 7 against South Carolina. They won by 5. They were on the road catching 8.5 against Tennessee. They lost by 12. Like when they're dogs, they tend to win but not cover. When they're when they're favored, they tend to win but not cover. When they're dogs, they lose the game and they don't cover.
Wow.
So I would agree.
Couple
take the points.
People from the chat just fired in there. Chicago Chris that Ole Miss will upset. That's our long shot bet for the day. And Tyrone Boyd said Hurley's out in 2 years.
Where?
He's out in 2 years.
Out where? Like not by firing. UConn's not going to fire him. Won back-to-back championships. He'll stay for as long as he wants, but he may go to the NBA. I mean, he flirted with the Lakers. Hurley in the NBA could happen. Yeah, he'll reconsider. Yeah, fine. I can see that. Yeah. I can see that for sure. Yeah. If his to be covered, yes.
College
Nick Tom.
seems like where it's at.
Watch yesterday's show, Nick Tom. We talked about Rozier for.
We did, yeah, Nick Tom. We talked a
30
lot
minutes.
about that.
Finally, one more game, and then we'll get to a couple of industry stories. And then we'll call Friday. Kentucky welcomes Coach Cal back to Rupp Arena.
That'll be interesting, won't it?
Interesting. That's must-see TV stuff. Arkansas is not very good. Kentucky's going to want to beat him by 100. By 100.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people saying a lot of things in that. Kentucky by a million. Nikki.
Coach Cal
I don't know.
beats
It
him.
could be a million.
Oh, my. Coach Cal takes Arkansas on that undermanned team.
Wow.
Yeah,
Coach Cal beats him. That would be the biggest upset of the day.
I already bet Arkansas. Wow.
Wow, did you? So, okay.
Outright? What's the plus? 5
Big
to 1,
number?
6 to 1? Outright win? Oh, my.
Wow. What's it? What time's that game?
Ooh.
Have to keep an eye on that. Is that that's a morning game, huh?
Kentucky.
Oh my God, there's
that
170 million games tomorrow.
God.
God.
What time is that game?
And I got to go pick up the packets today for the damn props. The one game you didn't mention on this list of really good basketball games is Gonzaga and St. Mary's tomorrow.
That's a good game.
I think it determines the winner of the conference, no?
Yeah, but they both Gonzaga's not Gonzaga this year. I mean, the whole conference is. I mean, St. Mary's will win the game.
It's the 8:00 special. There's going to be a lot of people getting back, because Hawaii plays at home tomorrow against Cal State Fullerton at 9:00 Pacific. Gonzaga and St. Mary's at 8. The games are pick 'em.
Yeah,
It's never been a pick 'em, like very
because
rare.
Gonzaga's not any good. It's
Wow.
just not the same Gonzaga team that we've seen in the past. I mean, I don't know. I'm not. Gonzaga's 9-13 ATS. They're 3-6 ATS in the conference. St. Mary's is 7-2 ATS in the conference, but they're 4-7 at home, 7-3 over their last 10. Give me St. Mary's. Give me the Gales.
That's what I mean. It seems. I don't want to say it seems easy, but it seems obvious that line should be more than pick.
Gonzaga was a 20.5-point favorite against Pepperdine. They won by 7. They have lost outright to Oregon State and Santa Clara. They were laying 15.5 points at home to Santa Clara and lost by 4. Like, that's not what Gonzaga does. They don't lose games like that. This is not this is not the same year for Gonzaga that we've seen before.
No.
So on that. All right. This is a little story from our friend David Payne Purdom. Your friends over.
So far, by the way, on the poll, 77% no will not make a bet on the NFL draft, at least in our chat. So
Nevada Sportsbook suffered a net loss in football in December for the first time in 12 years. NFL regular season month that they lost. This is a line you would say. Sportsbooks are expected to remain open for the Super Bowl, even though they did lose. Any theory as to what happened?
I love DP. I think I've actually said that exact quote to him.
Yes.
And back and forth. We've done that.
Yeah.
Yes, sportsbooks will remain open. Yeah, the favorites won and covered
a lot.
So again, move the damn number.
Would that matter? Would that have mattered?
Some of the games it wouldn't have. No, because 7 covered by 14. So maybe the market's getting more efficient. Maybe the numbers are getting better. Maybe the numbers are, sorry, Will, shit. You got to adjust. I mean, there's times, it's funny because I texted 2 people when I saw that and I sent them it. And I said, we wouldn't have been one of them, right? We wouldn't have. We wouldn't have lost. We wouldn't have lost. Because we would have taken back, as we got later, we would have not lost as much, let's put it that way, because we had guys that would play the other side. It's the other thing that's a dirty little secret of the industry.
Arbing?
No. Well, Arbing, yes. But I really think that a lot of people on both sides of the counter are all looking at the same stuff.
I would agree with you.
A lot of the models we're in the content space, people. How do people keep finding the same damn props to bet or to talk about on shows?
Yeah.
Everyone knows what the line is now and what the line should be.
Because I was going to ask you that because FanDuel has taken the lead in college basketball numbers. So the numbers for tomorrow's games, all the big games are up at FanDuel.
Mm-hmm.
They're not up anywhere else. They're the only ones who are putting it up. So every Friday when I come to do the list for games, no book has anything up except for FanDuel.
Okay.
Why are they doing that in your opinion? Why is FanDuel taking the lead for college basketball?
FanDuel can do whatever the hell they want.
So it doesn't matter. They're not afraid of anything.
Not afraid of anything. They got the biggest market share in every place they're in, except maybe one state. And I mean, the word on the street is that they take bets. They can do whatever they want. They can take the numbers and say, well, what does Ken Palm have? Put it up a point off, put it up 2 points off. What do you have the total? I'm not sure. Again, I've never been in their risk room. I've known people that worked for them that still do. I've known people that no longer do. It ain't rocket science, I could tell you that. But I'm impressed with the market efficiency. I'm impressed with it was a big deal last night, and all the old faces and stuff were down at the Westgate getting the packets and making their bets on the props and all that other stuff. They were out on Monday. And John and Sherman and Ed, they did a great job. I can't wait to go get it. They spent 2 days hammering out numbers, and you go off last year's numbers. This year had to be even easier to make because you have the game. They just played it 2 years ago in Arizona.
Right. Yeah.
So it had to be easy to kind of go off of what did we use here? Would they bet us here? All right, use it a little bit higher, see what they do. I don't know. I just, you can't, as long as there's no crying. First losing month during the NFL in 12 years. Am I surprised? No, not with the way the games went. But at least I'm happy that they're not crying. The ones that cry, I got no sympathy for. Don't cry.
No, but it is interesting. And I know college basketball numbers and handle is nothing compared to an NFL number, but that certain books are willing to take leads in certain markets and say, okay, we're going to put these out. We're not going to wait, versus how much copying, to your point, is going on both sides of the counter. Like how much people are watching. And like, I only know this because like people have told me that they're in the content space and that their handicapping starts with the Daily Juice.
Yeah.
Like they listen to see what I'm on to either fade or follow it, depending on what I'm doing. So like I'm doing the work for them. Like as they're telling me this, they think they're telling me a compliment because like, I love your podcast. I listen to it all the time. In the back of my head, I'm like, I'm doing the work for you. Like you're telling me that you're literally coming in and either copying and coming in, or I'm doing the work for you. So like, that's not always fun to hear. Like, okay, I appreciate that you're watching and paying attention. That you get like this echo chamber going on where like someone gets hot and then all of a sudden everyone starts listening to that person and then everyone's following off. It's the buffaloes off the cliff thing. We're all just like, no one's going their own direction.
Right.
Like I've told people before on this show, I've said it on the Juice. I love it when people come to me and say I'm dead wrong. Like I love it when you say the pick sucks. That's horrible. It's an awful bet. I love that. Like I do not like it when I hear like, oh, this is awesome. I love that. I'm trailing this. Great bet. I'm like, oh, I'm done.
That's a you thing though.
That's a me thing, but I'm done. I'm more often than not, I'm right. I mean, I have literally like an 80% clip of hitting when you tell me the bet sucks and you're aggressively against it. 80% of the time, the bet will cash. When you tell me you love it, probably 20% it cashes.
Right.
I just fall flat in my face. It's so
time to bring back hashtag Matt, your picks stink.
Amen.
That's the next t-shirt.
It's awesome. I mean, it's,
but I mean, everybody's picks things. Everybody has an opinion and you just let it go.
But that's the problem though. Everyone has an opinion, but it's becoming homogenized so much. The opinion is the same
for 20 years.
Oh, the content space has been much different now than what.
Well, the content space is now you hear it. I mean, what do you think we've been hearing in sports books for 20 years? It's the same, literally an echo chamber for 20 years. It's been this way. I mean, when I was offshore, we used to listen to this stuff. It was crazy. So, how far is Reno from Vegas? UNLV
Far.
versus Nevada and Reno.
6 hours.
It's a long drive.
6 hours.
It's an
It's
hour flight.
It's the difference between Boston and DC. That's the difference.
It's Chicago and Indianapolis.
Right. No, it's
right?
farther than that.
Chicago and Columbus.
Chicago and Indy is only 3 hours.
Oh, all right. Well, it's double
close.
that.
Yeah, it's double that.
Yeah, the hell with that.
Yeah. So, all right.
Yeah.
One more, and then we'll do Roll Call Friday, guys.
Yes.
To get ready. Another really, really funny post from our guy David Payne Purnham. Dave, when you see these numbers in Colorado, what pops to your head? Because I know it might be a little hard to see, but that would be table tennis with $29.4 million in online handle versus hockey, where they, by the way, play the Colorado Avalanche, 15 million in handle. 2-1 in the month of December. Ping pong betting versus NHL betting. What are we doing? What are we doing? How does ping pong handle?
I have to put on the other glasses.
How does ping pong betting double NHL betting in a state where they have a pretty good team in the NHL?
Obviously, there's more churn.
Sure.
With the ping pong.
Of course.
The hockey games are long. There's a lot of rules. They got the paint on the lines. I don't know what offsides is. I don't know what icing is. You know what? We play ping pong. We just go to 21. It's fast. It's, quick. Something about the paddles and the balls. You're right, D. Weezy. I don't know. But that's impressive. I mean, the handle's going up.
It's double. It's 30 million in a month. 30 million.
I swear I would love to sit down with the people that are making these numbers. You got to keep
Whitrock, 100%.
Oh, who said it?
Is the ping pong capital of the world Colorado? Absolutely. 100%. It's the ping pong betting capital of the world.
Yeah. Joel Onler, what did you say?
He said weed and ping pong go well together.
That's what I've heard. The same thing, Onler.
You're saying it correctly, but not in the way you think.
Well, yeah,
they are tied.
That are playing.
They are tied. Weed and ping pong are tied. It's just not connected in the way that you think.
Yeah,
it's connected.
Well, yeah,
it's not the consumption of weed.
No,
it is the business of weed.
Right.
That makes weed and ping pong go together.
Making some things clean.
It's just so out in the open. It's so brazen. Like, I don't think I've ever seen something like this for this long go on this publicly with this type of money name, like with this level of dollar amount, not 1 year, 30 million, 1 month, 30 million. And we're all like looking at this going, is anybody gonna, like, the emperor's got no clothes? Anyone gonna tell the guy that he's swinging in the wing? Like,
but I mean, what are they gonna do? I'm betting this and you're betting that. What are we gonna do with this? Like, I don't know if anybody can say anything.
No KYC going on in Colorado?
Well, yeah. I mean, you're following the KYC. You're just betting a lot of ping pong. I think it's great.
You do.
I do. I just there's no crescendo yet. Like this should have ended 2 years ago.
Well, I think they can't believe they keep on getting away with it. I think they're like, all right.
What are they getting away with? They're betting on ping pong.
Try 30 million. All right, try 40 million. How much can we stuff through this damn machine before anybody asks a question?
Well, I mean,
what we're doing.
The books are paying taxes, right?
Okay, right.
They're taking bets.
They are.
The government's collecting the taxes.
Correct.
The books.
Correct.
And
you're supposed to know the origin of the dollars being bet.
Guys are walking in the books and playing ping pong.
Sure.
That's all.
To the tune of what? Max wager, max wager, max wager, max wager. Like, we're all just.
We might have to go see Joe the Fat Panda up there and do this ourselves. We might have to go and explore some books up in Colorado just to see.
Mutual customers.
They are mutual customers.
No one wants to say anything. I would agree with that point wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants.
Everybody's getting it done.
And it's just so, and that's why I love when David puts it out, because he has a monster Twitter account with ESPN. He's like, here are the numbers for Colorado. Interesting ping pong numbers. Like, yeah, okay. Interesting ping pong numbers. Sure. It's like, going on. It's not the consumption, Ian, that we're talking about from marijuana. It's the fact that you can't put the money into banks. You can't use credit cards. The cannabis industry.
Cash.
You got to find a way to make it.
A lot of cash.
So you can move it. So you can move the damn money around.
Get on ping pong.
And ping pong becomes your arb friend.
Ping pong.
Both sides.
It's quick. It's fast. Lines are tight. In, out.
Literally.
21. Yeah.
Literally.
Straight cash, homie. You're right, Nikki.
It's too good. It really is too good.
Uh-huh.
All right, guys, get ready. It is time for a roll call Friday.
Yeah, we got to we got nothing planned today.
Okay.
We got to just keep it to business. Keep it tight, keep it right. Get your 3-digit area code wherever you're watching the show from, or wherever you're going to be this weekend watching the show from on replay. I mean, Vinko was first into the chat today over in Croatia. Yeah, he's so excited. I got to give Vinko a shout out. He's been talking about this team handball.
Yeah.
He's going to the games. He's betting on Croatia. They've been plus 350. They were plus 5-1 the other day. He's beyond excited to tell people about it, living the life, enjoying it. So, Vinko, you get the first shout out. I forget what your area code is over there in Croatia, but he had to run. He came in and left and talked about he learned something about the glory holes too. So I didn't know. That's fine. All right, who we got here first? Crop _ Duster 007. Wanted to check in for Roll Call Friday as I got to head out early, but 757 Newport News picking up hats later and can't wait. Y'all have a blessed weekend. Yeah, some of you may have received some boxes in the mail both yesterday and today. We'll get to that and favorite thing about today as well. Football Guy 97, 717, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Will Kenny's stories be recorded and released on a streaming platform from the stand-up platform?
I mean, I'm sure I'll tape a clip or two of it and put it out. So
okay.
I'm sure we'll have some.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I'm going to say no, because most often they don't want that stuff out there, because comedians are very careful with their material.
Right.
So they only like to put out stuff unless Kenny puts it on himself, and Kenny might put it on himself. He may do it.
Right. By the way, I just saw the bottom. Vinko's at 385 Croatia. Vinko, you got your shout on already, brother. But thank you for being here. Alan Smetana, 507, Mankato, Minnesota. Okay. Cold. Big win yesterday by the T-Wolves. That was good. They got down early. It was pick 'em. I almost came out of serious retirement on that one. PB 941, Venice, Florida, 77 degrees, sunny. Having football withdrawals. Happy old-fashioned Friday. Go Pats. Go Tar Heels. Good luck with the Tar Heels.
Tonight.
Pats aren't playing. Go to the Pro Bowl.
It's
in Orlando. Just shoot over to Pro Bowl. You can go watch, get your fake football fix there. CBW 315, Oswego, New York, 34 degrees. Very wet here. Currently pouring rain.
34 and pouring rain. Yuck.
That's
God.
Stinks. Chef Benny, he doesn't stink. 401, Rhode Island, quick, fast, and tight, in and out. Are we talking ping pong still? I was. I don't know about you, Chef B. Thanks for being here, brother. JC from KC 216, Cleveland, Ohio, and a balming 43 degrees. We'll see you next week, JC. You better bring your earmuffs because it might be a long week for you. People I got lined up, if they all say yes, somebody better get somebody from Kansas City to come on the show next week, because there's going to be a lot of Philly love stuff on here next week. Daniel G, 989, Shepherd, Michigan, 38 and sunny. Dave, you are the man. The hat is sick. Mrs. G loves it. 13 weeks away, boys. Mrs. G dress shopping Thursday. Starting to feel real. The bells are ringing. Love you, Brigade. My man's coming here and get married. I can't wait to give him a big hug. Mrs. G, we might see you in the Midwest sometime before that. Stay ready. Stevie Fisher, 313 Livonia, Michigan. Gray and raining, wishing I was in Vegas. Listen, I wish I was with you in Michigan when I had you watching the show the other day with Mrs. Fish. If hopefully you guys got a good laugh out of it. And you have to tell me the story later. Abe Zilla, 585. Look at the picture of that kid with that soccer ball. That's an adorable picture. Rochester, New York. Sonic the Wrench, 602 Phoenix. Nice outside at 64. Don't forget the early check-in from Croatia at the top of the chat. Yes, sir. Thank you. Let's go from Croatia early check-in to now Timmy Cooliros, 2000, Sydney, Australia. Really gaining legs. The number of listens on the thing is going up in Australia. Thank you. There's Call Me Jared, 330 Youngstown with the BVB Browns hat. Have a great weekend, boys. I'm going to Lids to make a BVB hat. Good luck with that. Can't guarantee it's going to look as, tight and crisp as when our hat doctor does it, but good luck with it. Hopefully you get it done. There's Mrs. JPC the fourth. She's looking at me in that avatar like I did something wrong. I did not do anything wrong. It's great to see you. 313 Detroit, SoCal DGen, back in the chat, back on the back end, making sure the website stays alive, looking for the other website. When they did something with that number, they won a lot of money for that other one. But we're at thebvbshow.com because of SoCal DGen and the 951 Riverside, California, 61 in the house this morning. Had to turn on the heater. 61 is cold. My man Ian Lights Out with a fin. Thank you, sir. 718 Brooklyn, 44 cloudy. Let's go Tar Heels. Hashtag beat Duke. Hashtag shock the world. Hashtag flag at half mast.
That's good. I like
That's
that.
a big day. That's a big day for you. Good luck, Ian.
JPC, thank you.
My man, JPC the fourth with a 10 spot. Thank you, 313. Got the hats, Dave. Much appreciated. Too bad my Lions forgot how to roar. I'll still get the picks out. The missus can wear the beanie hat. She's watching now, and we have not discussed this. All right, that's fine. That'd be great. Pictures, beanies. I'm going to see the kid this week. We're going to get a bunch of beanies for the winter. For all you guys that are in the cold, you have a beanie instead of a hat. It works just as well. Mm-hmm. Georgie Mason, 902 Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, Canada. Go Birds. Stay strong, G. Stay strong. We got one more week till football. Stevie Anderson, 407, Orlando, 82 degrees, 10 days until pitchers and catchers report. BVB spring training on site. Pirates versus Red Sox on 3-4 and 321. Stay ready, Mr. Anderson. I might need a ride. Just to let you know. That's a good number to know right there. 3-4. Is that at the Red Sox or at the Pirates, Mr. Anderson? You gotta let me know. That's be a good.
Aren't they one like a mile apart? Aren't they on the same
Yeah. They're close.
Really close.
But, yeah. But I got a guy for the Pittsburgh one. I ain't got a guy for the Red Sox one.
Right.
D Weeze, 704 Ishville, not the capital of ping pong. No, definitely not. Jonesy, hi Jay, 313. What up? What up with you, Jonesy? Thank you for being here. Chevy P, 613, Ottawa, Canada. Good to see you, Chevy P.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there's Abe Zilla. 585 is in Rochester, the second largest ping pong handle in the country, thanks to me. Abe, you bet that stuff? I'm going to have to get you in the chat more. I like that. There's my man G. Garrett Brown up in 425, Kirkland, Washington, on a walk around the office right now in the rain.
Thank you for being here.
In the umbrella. Stay on that umbrella. Thank you for being here, Garrett. Nikki Ciaramello, 520 Tucson, Arizona, 63 degrees and sunny. Appreciate you guys, the Wrenches and the Brigade. Always forward, never straight. Hope everyone has a hell of a weekend. We do the same, Nikki. St. Louis Ray with that big teeth smile. Creeps me out every time. St. Louis Ray, 314, 50 degrees of rain. Tyrone Boyd. My brother, 202 Tyrone. BVB is vital. Everybody loves you guys. Stacking my Eagles money line tickets now.
Look out.
Boy.
Look
Keep it up. T. Eat Ron Sean, 703 Centerville, Virginia, 53 degrees. Little rain. Have a great weekend to you all. All kind of avid all pictures. There we go. Oh, Chef B, 401 Rhode Island. He's back. Rain is melting the snow today, so I can golf tomorrow. Have a glorious weekend, Brigade. You like golfing in the rain? I hate it.
I hate it.
Man, it's tough.
I hate golfing in the cold, too, though.
I'd much rather golf in the rain than the cold, to be perfectly honest. I was a mudder. I didn't like it, but I got the good rain gear. I could do it. And I got a good glove that didn't slip all the time. You have to, the slippery things, you got to be very careful with. Rosie, 415, San Francisco, California, Atmospheric River 2.0. Have a great non-football weekend, everyone. Thank you, Rosie. Whoa, Jordan 1-star Gorov, 702 Vegas. Heading for a stress test at the cardiologist. Only precautionary. Have a great weekend, everyone. Jordan, you relax.
Isn't
Just
Gorov?
keep breathing.
How old? Gorov? Are you like 35?
Young kid, man. He's a young guy.
Dave and I going to the cardiologist. We don't,
That's what I'm saying.
don't want
But
you
we've
going
been there. It's nothing to worry about. Just go and breathe and do your normal thing and listen to what they say. Very important. Listen to what they say.
One more before we two more before we roll.
Addison the Wrench, 575 Tucumcari, New Mexico. Hot and wet.
If you know, you know. And we'll end it with a little Vinko Markinsevich with that before we head off into
Vinko back 385 Croatia. Go Team Croatia, Team Handball. That's
good job.
Friday,
good luck. Guys, thanks for being here. If you were watching on the replay, SiriusXM or Sports Grid, we're back on Monday. Appreciate you guys being here. The rest of you guys don't move because we're not leaving. Roll Call Friday continues during bonus time.
That's a pretty clean show for you, Will. Hopefully,
very clean. I don't think we swore once.
Kenny Mayne.
I don't think we swore once.
I said it once. I had to apologize. I think I cashed the ticket today. Kevin Roper, 601 Hattiesburg, Mississippi, 67 and sunny. Any ping pong bets gonna make the reprise? Don't bet a parlay, Matt. Nope.
No, I brought it back for today.
That'll be pretty fun.
I brought back don't bet a parlay today for today.
Fridays?
Nah, just for today. I was bored. The card sucks today. There's nothing fun going on. I was just like, fuck it. Let's just pull it back.
Nashville, Buffalo.
Yeah, there's just nothing fun on. So I did a triple D parlay today.
You did?
Yeah.
All about the D?
Dallas, Dartmouth.
Dallas, Dartmouth. Okay.
We'll talk about it in a little bit.
All right, great. Chicago, Kristen. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. In sports betting, they got two assholes. Man, oh man, ain't that the truth? Marcella under 504 New Orleans, a warm 70 and sunny. Really wish y'all could have made it to the Super Bowl this year. Maybe I'll get my hat another time. Listen, the kid took your hat to the new store. I had 4 hats set aside for Marcella under.
Okay.
I couldn't get with him about getting what he wanted on them.
Okay.
Corbin brought them to the other store. He's like, you put these 4 hats on hold for this guy. So Marcella, text the text line 702-570-8255, and we'll get it figured out. Stevie Graham, keep them crazy eyes. 513 Cincinnati, 56 degrees. Snow's finally melting. Have a great and profitable weekend, y'all. You do the same. It's Groundhog Day on the 2nd. He's going to see the shadow, and you guys are going to get more snow. So don't think it's all melting. It ain't over yet. Ryan Andrew Fletcher, 703 Herndon, Virginia. Rain is washing the salt off my car. Life is good. Love you guys. Love you too, Fletch. G. Berg, I was thinking of you. 716 Buffalo, New York. Pharrell said it all. He sure did. He said all and then some. But it's all right. We'll get them next year, G. Berg. There. Chicago, John. 312 Chicago. Was just able to jump on just in time for Roll Call Friday. We'll watch the show on the drive home today. Last high school hockey game this weekend. Take a lot of pictures, and it's okay to cry. To be happy that you got it and not sad that it's over. Ross Randall, 978, Amesbury, Massachusetts, 35, and wintry crap. They should start putting that as the definition on the news because everybody thinks it is. You're right, Ross. Just got finished making a stack of cutting boards. I enjoy my what does that say, P-Roll? Dabaroonies?
I guess so, yeah.
Dabaroonies, yeah, to fuel my rocket ship to the moon.
Yeah, he means.
Oh, fair. Okay, gotcha.
Dabs.
Hashtag BBB to the moon.
That's what he means.
Woo! Ask Addison. He probably knows.
Right.
Santana, 928, Yuma, Arizona, enjoying a sunny 71 degrees out before it gets melting hot. Keep telling myself it's going to be 120 degrees.
It's hard. We're at the part of the winter where it's hard to remember it. Like that's where I am with the cold. It's hard to remember that that's coming in literally 60 days. It's going to be 100 degrees, but it's hard to remember that because right now I'm so sick of the cold and I'm like, okay, I'm really done with 25 and 30-degree temperatures. Like I've had it. Like I've had it. I'm done with being cold in the morning. I'm had it with coats. I've had it with winter hats. Like I'm done. I'm done.
Still got a little bit to go.
We do.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Brian
Another month.
Bartone, 724, Worthington, rainy and 40-ish.
That's what's coming in February because it always snows in February. So
Right.
we're getting that soon.
Yeah.
40-ish.
Joe T, 620, Syracuse, Kansas, 60 degrees there for the Jayhawks. Okay. The Juice down in Arizona, 480, Scottsdale, Arizona, 63 degrees. Mike Woodson trying to save his job. Hoosiers plus 12.5 tonight at Hostel Mackey Arena.
I think he's right.
Enough?
Yeah, I think he's right. Yeah, I almost bet it. It was the last game that didn't make my card, but I think he's right. I think that's the right side. I just think they suck, so I'm nervous about it.
Okay. There's my man Pedro Franco. Hola. 021 Rio de Janeiro, 24 degrees Celsius and cloudy. My Rockets going to cash my over 42.5 wins bet. Excellent work. We will see your Celtics in the NBA Finals, Matt. Have a great weekend, everybody. Look at Pedro calling you out, telling you to see you in the finals.
Wouldn't that be something? Houston against Boston in the final. Ime Udoka Bowl. Oh, my.
That'd be
that'd be
that
something.
might not be a bad one.
No, that'd be
There'd
good.
Be a lot of storylines for that.
Drama.
Yeah?
Yeah. Sure.
I'm kind of hoping it's the Clippers or something west. We can just go.
Oh,
I ain't been to an NBA Finals.
How about the Phoenix?
Phoenix ain't going there. Ain't no way. Yorkie Morris, 702 Enterprise, Nevada. Matt and Dave, will I see you guys on Media Row in New Orleans? Jambalaya on me, boys. Let's go, Birds. Wait, Yorkie, you're going? You could have get us there. We ain't going right now. As of right now, unless we get a Hail Mary from one more source, we ain't going. But if you go, enjoy yourself. Otherwise, Yorkie, I'll see you at the Suncoast on Saturday. And I'll see you at a hockey game. Hopefully, you're playing next Tuesday. I'll come watch. Pierre in the Cut, 317, Indianapolis, 50 degrees and cloudy. Great work with Kenny. Enjoy the weekend, Brigade. You do the same, Pierre. Tell Dad we said hello. Pitbull, 59, 270, Campbellsville, Kentucky, 60 degrees. And Sunday, we love you guys. Great show. Thank you.
Stay ready, Pitbull.
Kentucky.
We may have something for you.
Kentucky's a big state. I don't know. I mean, like if we get close to Campbellsville, maybe Pitbull 59 will come out, bring some friends, come out and do a show. I think we could do that.
I want to see where Campbellsville,
Kentucky. Find out where Campbellsville is. Yeah.
Campbellsville, Kentucky is located. Oh, it looks pretty. Let's see. Oh, it's not horrible. It's not bad.
Okay.
That's actually right in the wheelhouse. He's wheelhouse.
Okay.
Like, yeah. If we,
Okay.
Yeah. Stay ready, Pitbull. we may have something for you.
Stay ready.
Yeah.
Jack Off. 651 Lakeville, Minnesota. Anybody know if there's an Australian football league we can bet on this weekend? Go bet on some ping pong, Jack. There's a lot of that. Mikey Awesome, the Wrench, 571 by way of 757 ODU Brigadeville. Looking forward to the youngest son's archery tournament tomorrow. Keep it straight. Hold it tight. I heart the BVB Brigade. LFGO. Let's go. Nikki Ciaramello, 10 spot. Only right. I drop a super chat for receiving the hat in the mail yesterday. Thank you again. We'll be wearing it proudly. You already made my day with the picture. That was great, Nikki. Awesome stuff. Kevin Whitrock, 319, Iowa City, 50 degrees and sunny in the pickup line to pick up Little Whitrock with the windows down.
Uh-oh.
I love it. You got to get in that line right. Them
yeah,
women.
Be careful with windows down. Say something.
Yeah.
Say something.
Put the windows up, Whitrock. Linus Crimmage, 705, Aurelia, Ontario, 1 degree Celsius, which is 34 Fahrenheit. Might get a Max Scherzer Blue Jays jersey in case he actually pitches in a few games. Anybody got any ping pong locks? No ping pong locks, not yet. I have to go down to the ping pong joint and get some work in, though. Boy can play ping pong. Chicago Kristen, 312, always trying to keep it tight and keep it right for at Chicago John. That's good. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. I was thinking something and I stopped. Didn't say nothing.
Just move on.
I mean,
just,
I know you now.
just-
Like we spent time together. Like I can't
Just move on.
move on. Joseph Myers, thank goodness you're here. Save me right there. 210 San Antonio, Texas. Next roll call Friday, my man will be in the 913 Leavenworth, Kansas. If I didn't have all the stuff I had to do, I'd come there, drive up with you, Joe C. Myers. In the meantime, put us on in the car, listen to us. You know, the brigade's with you. The move's going to be great.
Have you ever been to Leavenworth, Kansas?
Never in my life.
I think you might not be saying this correctly.
I mean, this guy needs some, you know.
You might have a
bonding
different
time in
opinion.
the car.
You might have a different
I ain't
opinion.
staying. I'll help him move.
When you
the
get to
stuff out of the
Leavenworth,
joint.
you might actually go,
I ain't staying.
Finally, last but not least, by obviously,
My man, King of Car Seats, 651, Farmington, Minnesota. Enjoy the Pro Bowl, everybody. P-Rod, are you going to watch the Pro Bowl? Seriously?
fuck no.
Hell no.
It's not even Pro Bowl. It's like Pro Bowl games.
I don't know what that
so
is.
dumb.
I used to love the Pro Bowl.
No, I always hated it. I never liked it. I was.
But they were in Hawaii back in the day?
Yeah, always.
And they actually hit each other?
Still stupid. You can't play football half-assed. It's
They
dangerous.
didn't. They used to play for real.
Rarely.
And then it got dumb.
Guys
No, when you were a little kid, they were playing for real.
Better to. Better to book it time. The Boston Celtics are 6-25-1 ATS following a victory. They killed the Bulls. Pelicans plus 11 tonight.
I think it's a play. I think we have to stick with this.
Did you see the ticket prices for the game tonight?
Where?
In New Orleans for the Celtics game.
Why? People are not even there yet.
$11. $11.
I was going to say, they got to be cheap. 11?
$11. You can go, if you have $100, you can get 2 tickets to every home game for almost the entire month of February. There's some games that are $3. $3.
Listen, man. I mean, this is what's going to happen. It's going to happen in a lot of places. People aren't going to games anymore. You can watch them on TV, on your phone, on this, on that. What am I going to go to the game for? I got to get aggravated with the parking and the this and that. If it ain't affordable, they ain't going to go.
Yeah. Pelicans plus 11. Just bet the trend. Okay. The parlay. Mavs money line tonight.
They're
Pistons.
playing Detroit at Detroit. Oh, I don't like that.
Mavericks money line.
Okay.
Stars money line.
They're
at
winning.
home.
They're winning.
Dartmouth is 7-1 ATS on the road this year.
Ivies? You're going with the Ivies on
Dartmouth
Friday?
plus 10.5 against Cornell. On the road catching 10.5.
I feel like I got to put my D hat on. Just to
Triple D parlay.
This is the D hat. It's all about the D.
Wow. Dallas, Dartmouth.
Okay, I'll book it, obviously. There's no chance in hell that I would say I bet this, but wow. So you're taking a 10.5 point dog plus the points, a pick-em game on the road in Detroit with the basketball. I feel confidently that the Stars are going to win. I hope you don't go 2 out of 3. I hope you either.
Of course I will. I'll go 2 out of 3. Of course I will. It always happens.
I know.
Pistons suck. I agree, Stevie.
They do. The Pistons are bad.
Yes. You're not enjoying Friday night like you're betting the Ivy.
See, JC from KC knows this is a Friday night thing. Absolutely.
Dartmouth on the road against Cornell. 2-2 Dartmouth, 3-1 Cornell in the Ivy League this season.
Is this the first official pick on the Ivy League game? I don't remember you ever picking an Ivy League game.
Oh, I have, because I have before, because that's how I got.
Because there was really thin Fridays.
I got into conversations with you before about this, because you used to tell me, I think 3-4 years ago when I first started, when you told me, well, that's it's a sharp bettors thing. I'm like, what do you mean? Like sharp bettors bet Friday night Ivy like crazy. They love it. They hammer it. I'm like, they do? They're like, oh yeah. It was back when Harvard was good for a couple of years. And you were
that's
like,
all that played on Fridays back in the day. We were talking about old days, beginning of the show. Again, if you go back and watch the show later, put your favorite thing about the old days in the comments.
3-year-old show, the old days. Like this is
no, from the 80s. Like beepers, like AOL.
Okay. God, that's not my favorite thing about
fax machines.
Did not like the internet. No.
No.
I was not in love with that. No. I was not in love with the internet. That the speed
payphones were my favorite thing.
Favorite thing. Really?
I love the payphones. Yeah.
My favorite
Yeah.
old time thing. What from
Like
a
that.
technology standpoint? I
It's
like
no longer really around.
Blu-ray discs were fun.
Oh, what a pain in the ass those
Those
were.
gigantic, huge things in school. They'd come out like a satellite dish. I'd be like, "That's so cool! How do you play content off that thing? That's awesome."
Yeah,
My
those are
age.
fun.
That's a good line. My age. I
Okay.
wasn't around for AOL, but I was around for MySpace. My God,
My goodness.
those damn songs really important. Favorite thing about today is what?
Couple things. Got some great pictures and texts because Send Out Monday, a lot of people arrived, East Coast and stuff, got their hats. Awesome to connect. And we're working on ways to connect with more of you. A lot of the connections have been made from the Chicago Road Show, from visits to Vegas, from even the proxy service, all kinds of stuff. But we've made a lot of connections, and the goal of 2025 is to continue to do that. And we're going to find ways to do it in different places. Hopefully, soon we'll make announcements and come out and hang out. Because if you can't get to Vegas, like I say all the time, we'll bring Vegas to you. But number two favorite thing about today is that this morning, the softball season for Felicia University kicked off. I got it right here, D2. They had a 10-hour bus trip down to North Carolina.
Did Kylie still
and
say I missed the bus trips after that 10-hour
I
ride?
mean, she watched a bunch of different things. Kelsey was passed out for 8 hours. She just shut
Good
it
for her.
down and said, I'm done. But they had 2 games today already. They got smoked. I mean, it's the
Shit.
first time outside. Neither kid played.
Ooh.
So I'm interested to hear
Why?
how that goes.
Okay.
But I still got the text it was, I believe, 4:30 in the morning.
Whoa.
We're up and we're dressed. Like there's still kids, and you still ask them, text me when you get up, make sure you're
Right.
up, and so I know that you're good. So it was just really cool. And I spent the morning after getting Kendall to school, watching them on my phone in North Carolina, watching softball. It was just great. So that's my favorite thing about today.
For me, and Riley, and we've done work with her at props, but Riley Pay had a really big week. Riley Pay yesterday officially was announced as the first ever female AAA play-by-play primary voice.
I knew it. I saw that, and I was like, I know her.
You
And
know
Jess
her.
was like, you don't. And I'm like, no, I do.
You do. Riley Pay worked with us at props. She took my class, and she went from the AA affiliate of the Boston Red Sox in Portland, Maine, where she worked last year, but now she's in Tacoma, Washington with the AAA affiliate of the Mariners. And she's now the first ever female full-time play-by-play broadcaster. And I couldn't be more freaking proud of her.
That's great.
She walked up to me. It was the first year. I think it was the second semester I taught my class. No, it was the second year, first semester. But she walked up to me and we were just like, she's like, I'm really excited to take the class. I'm like, thanks for being here. She introduced herself. And then as the semester went on, she came out of her shell a little bit. And then she said, I want to be a play-by-play broadcaster. And I was like, wait, what? She's like, yeah. And I was just like, I'm doing Cape Cod League baseball this summer. I was like, you're doing Cape Cod League baseball? She was like, yeah, I have a job. I have an internship in Cape Cod already that I'm going to go there. And then she went from Cape Cod, came back to school, worked for another year. And then after that, she went out and graduated UNLV and went right to the AA affiliate of the Red Sox in Portland, Maine, where my sister lives. And so my sister and her will go out and hang out from time to time in Portland, Maine. And then she gets that announcement this week that so now I got to figure out a way. Another reason why we'd go up to Seattle in the Portland area, but AAA affiliate of the Mariners. And when they come here to town and they'll play against the Las Vegas Aviators,
which I have
she'll come to town and call games for them. So really, really cool stuff. So congratulations to Riley for making history, like literally making history, becoming the first ever female play-by-play voice for an entire baseball season for the Rainiers. How do you say that?
Yep.
Rainiers.
Tacoma
What is a
Rainiers.
Rainier? What is a Rainier?
Mountains.
Is that
Tacoma?
Okay? You tell me. Over 250 applicants applied for the position, and Riley got it. So, yeah, hyper competitive. I mean, first female lead broadcaster in AAA. It's pretty damn cool, man. It's pretty damn cool. Congratulations to Riley Pay. Guys, thank you for being here. Have a phenomenal weekend. We will talk to you on Monday. We will be Monday night heading over to Kenny Mayne, but thank you to Kenny Mayne for coming on the program. Always a pleasure to get him on the program, having a conversation with him about his event. If you, again, finally on the way out want to go, first, please, that you can go, but simple, go to thebvbshow.com, join our Discord channel, at Sports Talk Matt, at me, show me that you are a follower of our YouTube page, and we'll pull the name tomorrow, make the announcement on the Discord channel as to who's going to go see Kenny Mayne at Kimmel's Comedy Club on Monday night here in Las Vegas. He is Dave. I'm Matt. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for being here. Talk to you Monday for B.